T.O., we're heading to your conference, to your favorite conference. I know we've called you a Big Ten guy. I know we've called you a Big East guy, but at your heart, you
going Big 12 next year. Going Big 12 next year.
At your heart, you are a Pac-12 guy. So, no, I'm just kidding. All right. The ACC, Virginia's in first place, tied with Pitt, which is one of the most unexpected things, I think, in college basketball this year. Miami is a game out of first. You have Clemson, a game out of first. You have NC State, 2 games out of first place. Wake Forest is there. Duke is there. Syracuse is there. You got to get all the way down to 9th to get to North Carolina. Out of everybody in this league, who is best suited to be able to make a run in the NCAA tournament?
Guys, there's a few. I'm going to be honest, like, we're down on the ACC. Ken Palm's got in the 7th best conference and all that, but there's still 3 or 4 teams that can make a run. There's still 3 or 4 teams that can make a run to the Elite 8.
Give me one. Give me one. Don't say Miami. Don't say Miami.
I'm not going to say Miami. I think we forget it. We've just a little bit like Fanta described Houston, in that we know what they are. We're used to them. They're just consistent. They do what they do. They know exactly what they're doing. You know exactly what they're doing, and they just freaking win, baby. That's Virginia. And they just keep doing it year after year after year. They have scoring options in a lot of different spots. Like Armand Franklin hit a big shot against Duke the other day. They have Kihei Clark that organizes everybody. Reese Beekman's that explosive guard with the ball in his hands. Jaden Gardner is ACC Barkley. Like, they've got guys. He is ACC Barkley. Go watch his game. He's Barkley. They've got guys that can score it when they need a bucket. They've got their defense is always going to guard. It's 22nd in the country, but at the same time, it's like, according to Ken Palm, it's a team that we've gotten bored with their consistency, and they're still really good, and they're still have a chance to not only make an Elite 8, they have a chance to make a Final Four.
Yep. Fanta?
Yeah, UCLA for me.
ACC.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's Valentine's Day. You have your mind on other things.
All right, while you
he had his mind on his meatballs.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, he had his mind. I keep going second or third in this, so I'm forgetting which conference we're talking about. Go ahead.
So, I'm not going to say Miami because I think Miami's the obvious choice. Great guards, made a previous run. Larinaga is built for March. I'm going to go with NC State.
I like that too.
I love the presence of DJ Burns. I think the fact that they can kind of pressure and turn you over is going to be something that's a little bit tough when you get into those like short turnaround games, right? Like it's difficult to kind of prepare for stuff like that. I don't typically love pressing teams, but I do think that they can give you a jolt if you're not ready for it and you haven't seen it before. And frankly, if you don't have really good guard play, it's something that can kind of get to you. And at the end of the day, how many teams are they going to go up against where they don't have the best guards on the floor? Between Baby T and Jarkel Joyner and Casey Morsell. Not that often, right? That's got to be a top, 8 backcourt in America?
Yeah.
At the lowest. Like, they have really, really good guards. And I just think that they're built to be able to kind of find a way to make a run. I like what Kevin Keats does. We've seen him have success in tournament settings when he was at UNC Wilmington. And how can you not root for the big fella, DJ Burns, as T.O. put it, the walking refrigerator? He's got ballet feet. Yeah. How can you not root for DJ Burns? That's a DTF podcast special right there. I really like the way the NC State is built. I think that they can make a run.
They don't have a bad loss this year too. I'm looking at their schedule. Kansas, Pitt at home, Miami at Clemson, at Carolina, Virginia at Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So like, they're beating who they're supposed to beat. My first inclination is like, well, if they play somebody as DJ Burns going to be able to, guard a mid-major that's coming off staggers and shooting, can he get out there? But I agree with you. I think they're really good, and they don't turn the ball over, largely in part because they don't pass it a ton, but they're still getting shots up at the rim.
I mean, you're not kidding. Fanta, go ahead.
I was thinking about this last night with Miami.
By the way, I would have died laughing if you would have come on and been like, I think it's Arizona.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's a brain fart by me. I was thinking about this last night with Miami. During the offseason, they obviously made the headlines when we had the Nigel Pack, Isaiah Wong drama of the NIL money. in that moment, you're saying, well, is Miami going to be dysfunctional? Is this going to be bad? Oh, this is life with NIL. We're going to see a bunch of other cases like this. And the fact is we didn't see a ton of those types of cases that went public and all that.
Mm.
That was the best thing that could have happened for Miami. Twist.
Yeah.
Here's why. If you're a 17 or 18-year-old kid, you're looking at that and you're saying, dollar, dollar, dollar. I can get it at Miami. The Hurricanes can flourish in the era of NIL, and they are. And to me, they're the most dangerous team in the ACC to make that deep run because Wong and Pack together just makes for an absolute nightmare for an opposing defense. Jordan Miller is like the mop-up man. He seems to cover any other ground that they need him to do so on. And he's a guy that just he's a real tough matchup for a defense. He makes things happen. He can attack the rim. And I love the way we talked with him on After Dark earlier this year. I just loved his whole mentality. He's a great presence for that team.
He played with an edge last night.
Yeah, he does. He really plays with an edge. And Omier, as Terrence said, when you've got great guard play, do you have somebody that can hold things down against an opposing big man? And that's what Omier does. He makes it hard for opposing bigs to get into a rhythm, and he's a guy that establishes toughness. Like, this is not a team that just can fill it up. They're a team that's got some grit to them. They've got a collective nature, and they've got a head coach who is not retired or walked away. Instead, he's staying around, and he's getting better with age. I mean, Jim Larinaga is one of the more underrated guys nationally for what he's done throughout the course of his career, whether it be 2006 with George Mason, but now at Miami. Like, if he goes to back-to-back Elite Eights with the Miami Hurricanes, are you kidding me? They're that good. They are good enough.
And here's the thing: like, he could have had that thing.
Eight.
He could have had that thing rolling all along if they didn't get caught up in the FBI scandal, which was bullshit, by the way. They never should have been involved. They never should have had their name mentioned. They were cleared of everything. There was no violations committed, so they could have. They could be a dynasty right now if it had not been for what is it, the southern district of New York, the FBI there messing up that case. But that's a different podcast for a different day.